VATA. We'll begin with the VATA constitution. In terms of healing using Ayurveda suggests that you always start with the VATA element, the air and ether element. It's the area of the body it's associated with is the base chakra and the large intestine. Although VATA may not be your main constitution, it is still quite important that we know about the air and the ether element of the body, as it is also in all the little small parts of the body. It's in the joints, it's in between the bones, it's in the large intestine, it's anywhere where we have the tubes. A VATA person often tends to be a lighter framed person. They can jump from one thing to the other. So they can be very interested in something, but for a short amount of time, and then it's on to the next thing, the next. I sometimes think of VATA people like Tinkerbell, going from one flower to the next to the next. But we have to watch out with VATA that they can get very confused then and not remember things because the mind is constantly hopping. So concentration techniques can be very beneficial. A VATA person can have poor circulation, is often very cold, and oftentimes deals with memory issues and insomnia, can struggle with sleep. They can also be very funny and have sudden outbursts of sarcasm or wit. Their blood pressure tends to be low sometimes. Okay, a VATA person can be very active, but they can also be very restless and find it very hard to rest. VATA energy remembers faces but can't remember names, so it can be very embarrassing. They very regularly meet people and just cannot remember their names. A VATA person is quick to understand, but they're also quick to forget. And they oftentimes don't let you finish the sentence because they're already hopping on from it. And they can have sometimes poor willpower and don't always uphold promises. Tend to have allergies and sensitivities. Because their mind is going so fast and it's jumping from one thing to the next, they can't bear waiting for somebody, especially a Kapha person who's going very slow, moving like a tortoise compared to like a sprinter. Tend to have a lot more nervous issues, but also have a lot more psychic senses and experiences. Also a fluctuating libido, can really want someone or something and then get it and go, oh, I want my space. Hot and bitter foods are recommended for VATA. Raw food is not the best actually, but if you do have raw, have it before 12 noon. Generally cooked vegetables are going to be better for VATA. Also, fasting doesn't suit someone who has too much VATA because it creates more air and ether. So actually having more regular meals that are slightly heavier would be better. It's important for a VATA person to eat their meals by chewing them very well and eating in silence if possible, but quiet environment is ideal. So a VATA person can be very creative, but they can also find it very challenging to finish things. They may not be the best leaders because they're jumping around the place, but they can be very, very creative and have very good communication skills once they're nicely balanced. They do struggle with loneliness and depression, sort of isolation. And this particular constitution is slightly more prone to addictions. It's the reason for this is due to the anxiety and nervousness. So the air and the ether is jumping too much. Whereas when we balance this, the person isn't looking so much outside of themselves. And they tend to make very good teachers, very good organizers, and do really well in media. And music and dance very much suits a VATA person, and they love traveling. The thing is, they're difficult to travel with because they're jumping all the time to the next holiday destination. So great if you want to go on a pub crawl with, or you want to go doing a lot of movement when you're traveling. But if you want to relax and enjoy the sunsets, the VATA person might get a little irritated with that because it's not happening fast enough for them. But they do love traveling, and it's very important that the VATA person grounds themselves when traveling, even after aeroplanes. It can take them a long time to get back grounded again. VATA person does well when they take their shoes and socks off and touch the earth. Okay. Routine very much helps Vata person because they tend to be erratic. They tend to vary every day up, which can be okay as well if it's done consciously, but if it's done sort of erratically, a routine can be very, very beneficial to ground a Vata. A warm lemon or ginger tea is highly recommended first thing in the morning. Small meals regularly, with a little bit more chunkier, meatier for grounding sake. So if you are making soup, that you do leave the veggies quite chunky, that you do cook your food quite well, and that it's not too spicy. Vata person gets on very well in some of the very faster yoga paces. However, it would be better for a Vata constitution to hold the poses longer and lean more into the breathing into the poses. Okay, this again is to balance the air and the ether, but it is to stay in the poses that bit longer. So a Vata person finds it very difficult to meditate, to sit still. It's really challenging for them. So the more that they meditate or use mindfulness in the evening, definitely more beneficial. And that's also for anybody who's healing the body. It is definitely to stop the mind from jumping around the place and to bring more focus into your life and steadiness. The ideal time to go to bed is 10:30 whilst listening to very soft and relaxing music, and blue lights out at least an hour before going to bed. Also, don't work out after meals, and it is said a Vata does better sleeping on their left side. So Vata also wants to always keep themselves warm, so always have layers of clothes and extra if required. It's ideal that the bed sheets are white and that the bedroom is basically a bedroom, and also that they make the bed in the morning, because it's very common for the Vata to get up and leave a complete mess and have things all over the place. So to definitely have order in the bedroom, have everything, have the bedroom calm and serene. So for self-care practices, it's good to massage the feet and also massage the hands and the scalp using oils. The Vata tends to carry a lot of emotions in the shoulder girdle and in the pelvis. So these are the two areas to be worked on, particularly hips and hip openers. The pelvis can get very stuck. Less screens and more stars. Watching the stars at night is hugely uplifting for the Vata constitution. Silence and peace. Times of the day where there's no talking at all. Just to enjoy the silence is hugely beneficial. Mandalas and geometry are really insightful. Okay, and be cautious about finances, because those monies and funds can just absolutely disappear. If you're making any big financial decisions, do have somebody who's very grounded to speak to you about it, because a Vata person can get like really excited in that they could find Revolut, purchase a whole bunch of crypto and have it all gone by Monday. Like, it can just be impulsive and find things very, money can go easily. So if you're making any big decisions, do get some advice.